All right, let's talk about that giant source of anxiety for pretty much everyone who gives a presentation, the ticking clock. We've all been there, right? Watching someone just race through their last few slides, or even worse, getting that dreaded time's up signal. Well, today, we're going to make sure that never, ever happens to you again. Let's dive in and figure out how to own that clock.
You know, this quote just absolutely nails it. Managing your time isn't just about, finishing when you're supposed to. It's about controlling the entire vibe of the room. The second your pacing is off, their attention just evaporates. But when you get the timing right, oh man, you command that room.
So what's the secret sauce here? I'll tell you what it's not. It's not about talking faster. No way. It's about being smarter, being more strategic, and honestly, just being better prepared than everyone else. Let me show you exactly how to do that.
Okay, so the most important part of this whole thing, it happens way before you even think about opening PowerPoint. This is the prep phase. This is where you set yourself up for success by building a safety net right into your plan from the very beginning.
Let's start with your new secret weapon, the 80% rule. It's so simple. If you have 20 minutes, you only prepare 16 minutes of stuff to say. That extra 20%, that 4 minutes, that's not dead air, no. That's your breathing room. It's the space for those powerful pauses. It's the time you need to interact with the audience, and it's what lets you deliver your message with confidence instead of rushing. It is the key to feeling totally in control.
So how in the world do you get down to just 80%? Okay, this is where you have to be ruthless. Let's be real. Your audience is probably only going to remember 3 things from your talk anyway. So you have to divide all your content into 2 piles, your absolute must-knows and your nice-to-knows. The must-knows are the core of your message. The nice-to-knows, those are the interesting stories, the extra data points, and they're the first things on the chopping block.
Which brings us to a famous piece of advice writers use. You have to kill your darlings. We all have that one bit we just love, that perfect story, that amazing statistic. But if it doesn't directly support one of your main must-know points, it's just a time bomb waiting to go off. You've got to be brutal. Trim that 5-minute story down to 60 seconds. Or even better, just stick it in an appendix slide in case someone asks about it later.
All right, once you've filtered out all the extra stuff, the next step is to build a structure that basically manages the time for you. I want you to think of yourself as an architect, and you're designing a building for perfect flow.
This right here is your blueprint. By giving specific amounts of time to each section, you automatically avoid the 2 most common timing traps, the intro that goes on forever and the conclusion that's rushed into 10 seconds. See how the body gets the biggest chunk? But, and this is key, the opening and closing get their own protected time to make a real impact.
And hey, if you want an even simpler framework, you can't go wrong with Guy Kawasaki's legendary 10-20-30 rule. It's genius. 10 slides, 20 minutes, 30-point font minimum. This isn't just about keeping things simple, it's a masterclass in respecting time. It forces you to be concise, it forces you to be clear, and it makes your presentation automatically respect the clock.
Now for a really practical, hands-on method, time boxing. Seriously, this is like having a GPS for your talk. You just break your presentation down into smaller chunks, the intro, point 1, point 2, and so on, and you give each one a strict time budget. When you rehearse, you use a timer. This turns one big, scary 20-minute monster into these small, manageable little segments. So much easier.
Okay, you've prepared, you've structured. Now it's game time. You're on stage, you're live. This is where you use a few simple techniques to project total confidence and control over your pacing. The power pause is your absolute best friend on stage. Just a deliberate 3-second silence right after you make a really important point. Now, to you, it might feel like an eternity, but to the audience, it feels powerful. It gives them a second to actually absorb what you just said, and it completely gets rid of that rushed, nervous energy. Remember, silence isn't empty space, it's a tool.
I mean, this really gets to the core psychology of it, doesn't it? We all naturally talk faster when we're nervous. So by consciously slowing down and using those power pauses, you're basically hacking the audience's perception of you. A slower, deliberate pace signals authority. It says, hey, I'm in control, I own this stage, and I own this clock.
But let's be real. Sometimes, even with the best planning, you look up and see that clock winding down way faster than you want. What do? The #1 rule is don't panic. The pro move is to pivot, not to rush. This is where you need an emergency escape hatch. And one of the best ones is what some people call the Twitter summary. It's this really elegant way to wrap things up and still make your main point, all without looking flustered. You use this exact phrase. Seriously,
Memorize it. If I had 1 minute left, here's what matters most. This is a total game changer. It doesn't sound like panic. It sounds confident. It tells the audience, I respect your time, so let me distill the single most important idea for you. You instantly look decisive, focused, and totally in control.
And you've got other tools in your emergency kit too. You can pull a plot twist and just jump straight to your conclusion. Or you can use a callback and connect right back to your opening hook for a nice, clean ending. And if you're in a Q&A and a question is too complex, use the parking lot. Just offer to discuss it one-on-one after. See? These aren't signs you failed. They're professional moves.
So, let's wrap this all up by completely reframing this whole challenge. What if the clock wasn't your enemy? What if it was actually your greatest ally?
And that's the final big idea right there. Time limits are a gift. They force you to be clear, they force you to be concise, and they force you to focus only on what truly, truly matters. A great presentation isn't one that covers everything, it's one that makes a powerful, memorable point in the time it was given.
And that's really the secret. Mastering the clock isn't just about finishing on time. It's about making your message better, sharper, more impactful. So as you go to plan your next talk, I'll leave you with this one question to think about. What will you be brave enough to cut? Thanks for watching,